Hello everybody, this is Zephyr with your ChildTrax support team, and in this video I'm going to show you how to create foster parent logins and the basic configuration behind them. To do this, all you have to do is go to Find a Parent, look for the parent that you would like to create a login for, and then click the View Details button. From here you'll click the Parent Details button, and you'll need to make sure, first and foremost, that there is an email address entered, as well as make sure that the parent login active box is checked here. Once you've done both of these, make sure you have saved it, and then click the Change Password button at the very bottom of the screen. When you click that Change Password button, an email will be sent to whatever email address you have entered here for them to follow a link and change their password. The email will look like this. They'll just click on this link, create a password, and then their login will now be active. From here, they would go to the foster parent login page, which will look like this. As you can see, it will look exactly like the login page you use, except in the blue bar you'll see foster parent login. You'll also see that the URL for this page will be childtrax.us/childtrax/parent-login. Since we're doing this example in the demo system, I will need to go to the demo parent login, however. So from here, I'll just enter my email address and password as if I'm a parent. And this is what the foster parent login screen will start with. This is their home page. So as you can see, there are announcements and important things to do on their home page. The announcements are something that you can enter so they can see right off the bat if they need to complete something, or if you want to send a thank you message to them. Any type of message you want to send will appear here in the announcements. These messages will stay here based on the criteria you entered, or until they hit the dismiss button right here. So to set up announcement, I'm going to go back here and go to System Administrator, Table Maintenance. And actually what I want to do is go to Administrative Announcements right here. And under the section Company, which I'll just do this as an example, as you can set announcements by state or branch as well. You just have to enter whatever announcement you would like to make. So as you can see here, we have one that says thank you to all the foster parents, you are greatly appreciated. You'll enter a start date, which will determine when this message starts appearing. An end date will determine when that message stops appearing. And if you leave it blank, that message will always appear until they hit the dismiss button. Once I have all that entered, I can click Save if I want to change any of these, or if I wanted to add a new one, I would add it down here at the bottom, and then click the Add button here. So back on the foster parent login screen here, you'll see that there's also an option for important things to do, which will show them any requirements that you have set up for them to view. It'll show them if they're overdue or due soon. It will also show you if they have any behavior logs that they need to enter for any of their kids. The important things to do will also show them if their license is about to expire, or their auto insurance is about to expire or is overdue. It will also show them that they're here, that way they can get that information to you right away and get everything squared up that way. Now if you've ever set up a user, you know that when you're setting up a user, you need to set up their menu items. The same is true for foster parents. So to set up the ability for parents to view certain pages, what you'll do is go to the branch office option here, and whatever branch that parent is belonging to, you would go to there. In this instance, it's going to be Dayton. And then there's a button right here that says Foster Parent Menu. When I click that button, a new dialog box will open with all the available menu items for parents. As you can see, there's many different menu items that are available for parents. However, as of right now, everything that you see checkmarked already are the items that are available for foster parents to use. Anything unchecked are items that we're going to be releasing at a future date, as they are currently not available. So as of right now, you have the option for behavior logs for them to enter and view for their children. They have the option for training history, where they can see all the trainings that they've completed. They have the option for resource parents, which if a parent is listed as a resource parent, they will have a list of those people with their name, their address, their phone numbers, and their email address so they can be contacted. You'll also see that there's the option for them to look at their home and parent details, their home and parent requirements, their auto and driver's license, their license dates for their home, and any respites that are in their home or any respites that their kids are currently in. There's also the option for documents, and there's going to be a document library that you can upload certain documents that the parent can view at any time. Now this could be things like a foster parent handbook, tax information, anything like that that you want the parent to be able to view at any time. Later on, there will be an option for the parent to upload files themselves. That way they can upload files directly to you without you having to go to them to sign them and things like that. So once I have all the menu items that I want set up, I'll just click the Save button here. And now that parent will have the option for those foster parent menu items. So if I look in the top left here, there's a little button on this foster parent login screen that will open up a side menu. From here, they can look at the My Children option, which will show all the kids that they have currently in their home. If they click on those kids' names, they'll be able to get to their behavior logs, enter them, view them, etc. Under the training option, they'll be able to look at their training history. They'll be able to look at it for the current calendar year or for every training that they've ever done. Under the resource parent list, they'll be able to look at any parent that's listed as a resource parent, which I'll be showing you how to do so here in a little bit. As you can see, it shows their name, their address, their home, their cell phone number, and their email address. And this is all determined on if you entered this information on that parent level. Under home information, they can look at their home details, which they can see everything about their home. They can change their phone numbers if need be, and just click Save there. Under the parent details, it will show every information about them specifically and not just the home. It will show their work, cell phone number, and email address. Those are the options that they have to edit. They cannot edit anything else. They can also change their password from this screen. Under home and parent requirements, it will show them all the home and parent requirements that you have set up for them to be able to view. They will not be able to click and actually look at the item itself, but they will be able to see what things are coming up due, and that way they can get the information that you need to before it becomes due, or if it's overdue. It'd be a lot easier for them to see what's going on, what you need as a case manager. So as you can see, it's just like if you were to view a home or a parent or even client care. If the item is not highlighted, it usually means that it is not due for a while. If it's highlighted yellow, that means it is coming up due. And then red will be any item that is overdue. The auto insurance and driver's license will also take them to the parent details screen where they can look to see if their auto insurance or driver's license is expiring soon. Their license dates will take them to that home screen, which will show them their initial license date, current license date, and their license expire date. And then finally, the respites in your home here will show them any children that have been respited in their home between a certain time frame based on their search. And it will also show any other children's respites from a certain time frame. So I'll just use this one as an example. When I click search, it will show all my kids and when they've respited and what home, etc. The last thing on their menu items is the document library here, which I'll show you how to upload these files here. As you can see, there are some files available to them already, and all they have to do is click on the name of this file and they'll be able to view and save that file. So I'm going to show you how to configure each one of these items. The first thing we're going to start with is we're actually going to start with the home and parent requirements, and I'll show you how to get those to appear on that screen. So again, we're going to go to a branch, edit a branch office here. Now we can choose foster home or foster parent requirements. They will both show on that screen. So for this example, I'll use foster parent requirements. And here I will select a foster parent requirement that I didn't see on that list. So let's go with quarterly survey. So when I click quarterly survey, you'll see that the basic configuration of the item is right here. But you'll also see these two new items listed as parent view allowed and parent edit allowed. The parent view allowed option will give the ability for the parent to view a requirement on their home and parent requirement screen, so they can see whenever it's due, and then they can get that information to you. The parent edit allowed would allow that parent to edit that requirement and enter information in it. As of right now, the parent edit allowed function does not work. That is something that we are adding to a future release. So as of right now, we're going to just focus on the parent view allowed. So I'm going to check this box, click update, and when I do that, let me go back to the screen. You'll now see that the quarterly survey shows up along with the due date. Now that screen will also show any date tracker items that you set up. It will also show foster home or foster parent requirements. It will not differentiate them to the parent, as that could confuse them. They'll just need to know that they need this item due and what they need from you, or what you need from them. So that is just a basic configuration for the home and foster parent requirements. As far as the date tracker item goes, I'll just show you an example there. As you can see right here, this background checks another household member. That is actually a date tracker item. And to set that up, if I go back to Clark, view his details, and then go to the date tracker option here, you can see that I have a date tracker with that name right there, the effective and expiration date. That way you can see when it's coming up due. Simply add a requirement here, and that will show for this parent as long as you have it configured correctly. Now, to configure a date tracker item so it can show up on a parent login screen, you would just go to System Administrator, Table Maintenance. You'll go to the option right here that says Background Checks. And from here you create the item down here. You can add active with parents, however you want the cycle to be, whether it's 12 months, 3 months, etc. Once you do that, you just click Add Background Check, and from there on out, if you set up that date tracker at the parent level, it will show up on their home and parent requirements. The next thing I'm going to show you is just how the license date and the insurance dates show up when they're about to expire or when they have expired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Clark. I'll view his details here. And I'm going to make it so that his driver's license is expired. When I do that on this screen, it shows red. Now let's see what it does when on the parent login screen. So if I return to my home page here, you'll see now that it says driver's license is overdue. And when I click it, it'll drop it down and it shows when the driver's license expired. If I click here, it will take me to my parent details page, and it will highlight it in red, letting you know that this is expired, and obviously I need to get with you to give you my new driver's license. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to set up the document library, as you see here, where they can click a file. So to set up the document library, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Administrative. I'm going to go to System Administrator, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the Document Category Lookup. When I click the Document Category Lookup, you'll see the option to add categories. As you can see, I've already made some myself, but most likely when you first do this, you won't have anything there. From here, I'll just create a new one. Let's name this one. I'm going to create a start date of the beginning of this year. And we'll call this foster parent required documentation. I'm going to click the add button. And then the next thing I want to do, if I want to actually add files to that location, is I'm going to go to Administrative, System Administrator, and below the document category lookup is an option that says Parent Library Maintenance. When I click the Parent Library Maintenance, this is where I would add the files that I want uploaded. So I'm going to add a file, and I'm going to add one with the beginning of the year as the start date. Now whatever start date you choose is when that file became available. So if you want a file to be available backdated, that's why I put it here. If you want it starting today, you just enter today's date. You can put what category you want this type of file to go under, and I'm going to go with that new one I created. The description I'm going to go with is Foster Parent Handbook. Now from here, I would actually select which branch I want it associated with. I can select all of them. I can select one specifically if it only follows that type of branch. A couple of them, however you want to do it, is up to you. I'll click this Browse button here to add the file I want to add. And for this instant, I'm going to use the foster parent example. And then I click Add. Once I click Add, that file is now available for all the branches that I selected before. And if you want to view anything, any of the categories, you can view them all simply by clicking the search button, or you can go by specific categories by selecting them here and then clicking search. So the one I just added, we're going to look right here, click search. You can see the document that I uploaded is right here, the description of the file, a start date. I can add an end date so that file will no longer be available after a certain date, or I can change the branches that it's available to, etc. So now when I go to this foster parent login screen and I go to the document library, you'll see that there is now a category labeled foster parent required documentation with that foster parent handbook that I labeled here. If I click that file, I can open or save the file. I'm just going to open it in this instance. And as you can see, I can open that file and do whatever I want with that file. Now this can be pictures, this can be anything, any type of file you want to upload and make available for foster parents. The next thing I want to show you, as we went over these behavior logs that you see here, also when they go to a specific kid and click behavior logs, it'll look just like the screen you get when you try to enter a behavior log. Here they would just click add new and then they can enter the log themselves. You will also see that it shows foster care super agency requires one log within a 1 week period. Now if you're unsure how these settings are configured, as you can see it's showing red here because I haven't entered my one log for 1 week here. You can set this to be any type of time frame that you want. You could have 2 logs in a week, 6 logs in a week, 5 logs in a day, 3 logs a year. However you want to set up, you would do this at the agency level. Now this will be whatever your case management agency is. So whether that's foster care, case management agency, whatever you guys use for your default case management agency is what you would want to go edit. So I'm going to go back to the System Administrator menu here, go to Table Maintenance, and then go to the agency level. From here, since I'm looking at Foster Care Super Agency, I'm going to click Edit, and scroll down until you get to where it's black highlighted here where it says Foster Care Program. From here, behavior logs are actually called progress notes in our system. So this is what you would want to edit. As you can see, I have one note for every one time unit, and the time unit is right here. So right now it would be 1 note for every 1 week. I could change that for 1 note for every 1 day. I can change that for every 1 month, 1 year. I could change this number. I could change this number. You can set it up however you see fit, and that will determine whether that log area turns red based on how many they enter. The last thing I want to go over is that parent resource list that we talked about a little bit earlier. And for this instant, I'm actually going to also show you, actually no, we'll just go to Find a Parent. We'll click on Clark again. We'll view his details. And then we're going to click the parent details again. So what we're going to look for now is there's a checkbox right here where it says Allow as Resource Parent. Any parent that would like to be a resource parent, all you have to do is check this box and click Save. That is it. Once you do that, that parent will now show up under this menu item here, under the training option and resource parents. And here will show their name, address, phone number, cell phone, which is all grabbed from here. So their work phone, cell phone, as long as that information is entered here, their email address is entered, they'll be available as a resource parent that parents can contact each other and go over things. Now, as you can see, this is just how the foster parent login options will work. That's how you configure them, and you can see the direct relation between the two systems. Now, this will conclude the administrator's portion of setting up foster parent logins and the configuration behind them.